Hello, everyone. Welcome to Feedback, live from Comic-Con 2012. Guys, simmer down. We'll get to you in a second. This is powered by Alienware, your favorite computer manufacturer. We love Alienware. So here's the deal. We do feedback every week. We always have guests on. We want to make this all about you guys. So what we're doing is we're going to let you direct all of the conversations. You can send all of your questions to @G4TV using the hashtag FeedbackLive, and we will ask them here on the air right now. Again, powered by your friends at Alienware. Let's get right to our first guests. Joe Lynch, Adam Green, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
We really appreciate it.
Woo!
We really appreciate it.
Couldn't get any better. Well, I mean,
No?
Who canceled that?
yeah.
You got us.
There's full disclosure, Joe is not wearing the headset for medical reasons. We told him that if he came on our show and we promoted Holliston, he would have to work for us. So as soon as this is over, he's literally going to go move over to camera 3 and work.
Camera 3? Do you need camera 3? Oh,
Yeah.
you're good? Okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
So that is going to happen.
Give me
guys,
another Diet Coke.
Yeah.
copy that.
Guys, congratulations, though, on Season 2 of Holliston. I think the last time I saw you, I was doing a set visit on Season 1. You're like, look, we don't know if this is going to work, but we're having a hell of a good time doing it. And now here you are at Comic-Con. You're going to start shooting Season 2 in a little bit.
Yeah, just a couple weeks.
Yeah, so are you promoting – what are you promoting now? Are you talking about Holliston here or the other projects you guys have going on?
We're talking about some other projects too, but for Holliston, we're basically sort of like teasing what's coming for Season 2. We have 2 autograph signings. We did one yesterday. We have one tomorrow. We had a big panel last night, which was a total blast. But then Season 1 comes out on DVD on October 9th, which we announced last night. So the cool thing, though, is like, you know, we're on FearNet, which is a new network. So there's a lot of people that don't actually get the network yet. So they either watch it on iTunes or they have to wait for the DVD. So there's a good portion of that crowd last night that's only seen the commercials and the clips. So getting to actually show them stuff from the show and hear them respond the way they did was fantastic. So we're kind of promoting last season and next season in a way.
We're kind of in seasonal purgatory
Seasonal
right now.
purgatory. That's a good.
Or
I like
hiatus. Hiatus is
Yeah,
much
that's
more
what
official.
I think that's what the
hiatus-
Human Resources Department
hiatus,
prefer you call it.
But we've actually been back for like months rehearsing that.
Oh, dude,
Hiatus.
breaking the fourth wall, man.
Yeah.
And we, you know, again, when we talked on the set, you said, look, there's no real pressure because we're just kind of getting to do whatever we want. And again, nobody really knows much about FearNet. Now more people know the network, and I think it's safe to say that you guys are pretty much like one of the, you know, the hallmarks of the network at this point. Season 2 is going to be something they're going to push out there to bring new eyeballs to the network. Are you nervous at all, Joe? I mean, this is now you've got pressure. Now it's Season 2. You got a personal trainer now. You've had a billboard where you're naked. That's a sign of success, man.
Yeah, you know, and when you guys need me for camera, let me know.
That's success.
Right here, baby. Right here. No, I mean, it's hold on. There's
Better.
no real pressure, like from the studio, from the network, because FearNet really trusts us. You know, they really believe in us. They believe in the show. We've already established ourselves. We've established like the tone of the show. Because last season it was kind of like, we don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I would disagree because now
this is going to be awkward.
well now
Debate?
now the pressure is on because like the show worked and like FearNet. I can't say the specifics yet because they need to announce it, but they're about to grow exponentially like bigger, and this show was like one of the things that pushed them over because now that they're showing that they're a viable network. So now the pressure is really on us to deliver because first season it was like, all right, look, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right.
Well, it worked, and now it's like, keep going. It's like this season we're going to have even more episodes. We're doing some really crazy stuff, too. We're doing an animated episode.
But we're supposed to be giving away
We
these.
can talk about that. An animated episode. We're doing a found footage episode. We're doing a special at the end of the year, too, like an hour-long special. Because, you know, with these cable shows, you got to wait a year between seasons, and the fans get very antsy.
Yeah.
So we're doing a special hour-long episode at the end of the year that sets up Season 2. But so we're doing like twice as much this year. But the good thing is the characters are established. The fans know the relationships. Like we have a fan base. And we've gotten to do a season where we got reviews, we got feedback, and so we know what people were responding to and what they weren't, which was nothing. And so we're
excited about that. Well, speaking of the fan base, you know, we put out that we were going to have you guys on the show. We got a ton of questions on Twitter at G4TV using the hashtag FeedbackLive. Moy from G4TV.com is going to be handling all of the. She's kind of the condom, if you will, that we're putting over the internet to save you guys from anything
So
you
is
may
this
catch
the
there.
receptacle
You
end?
are one
yes.
condom.
Boy is
Very,
the receptacle
very-
end of this long.
Yeah,
awesome-
yeah. That's why I'm at this end of the
All
table.
I wanted was to be called a condom my whole life, and
Yeah.
I feel I can die happy.
It was literally in her writer. It had one line, and it was "Call me condom," and I was like, cool, we
If
can do
you
that.
were a condom, I'd be like, done before it started. So
Oh,
I think
wow.
that's great.
Let's get to those fan
And that's
questions.
a
now,
compliment,
Moy.
everybody.
What do you have from the fans over there?
Well, I had one question from Jordan. I kind of already answered. It was what can you tell us about Holliston season 2? But is there anything that for fans who can't be at Comic-Con that you want to let them know?
Well, last night we announced that season 1 comes out on October 9th, and season 2 is going to have a lot more episodes than season 1. They're not letting us say exactly what the number is yet, but season 1 was only 6 episodes. This one's much more. We're doing a animated episode. We're doing a found footage episode. We've got a ton of awesome guest stars. Like first season was a little different because it's the first show, nobody's seen it yet. So
Right.
when you're reaching out to guest stars, like thankfully we got people like Seth Green and John Landis who just loved us and came out anyway. But we got great guest stars. It gets a little emotional. I don't want to spoil too much, but at the table read, which was the first time the cast got to actually see the scripts, like both Corey English and Laura Ortiz, our co-stars, left crying, which I thought was great.
Wow.
So for an outrageous sitcom with exploding heads, to see people get that emotional at the end, we were excited about it. And the great thing was the network didn't squash it. They were like,
Right.
this is totally not the direction we expected it to go, but it's great.
We're
So,
okay with it.
Yeah, they were okay with it.
Does the fact that you have all this, I don't want to call it pressure, but there is a certain level of expectation for season 2. There's a lot more work involved, as you guys said. Joe, we know you're working on Nights, and then Adam with Hatchet. Have you had to pull back from the other projects you guys are doing? Because this is
No,
a lot more
that's
work.
one of the great things about Adam's production company, Ariscope, is they've been working together for 15 years now.
14 years.
I was going 15. I was just thought
15
maybe,
years, 20 years.
Why not? But
I'm not that old, man.
But
I do have a bad
they
hip.
have a great collective, and they know that like our co-stars have other stuff going on. Adam's got projects, I have projects, but we always kind of make it work, But for us, it's like summer camp. It's like
Right.
get the band back together and just get on that
have
stage
some
and
fun,
have a blast.
relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Right on. Moy, what else do we have from the fans?
I have a question from an alien follower, Simon, at Space for Simon Pegg. For Adam, how many gallons of blood did you go through filming Hatchet 3? Because you're just talking about that.
Simon Pegg asked that question just
Yeah,
now, you guys.
it's
That's
really
pretty
crazy.
cool.
Simon Pegg asked that?
No,
Yeah.
I'm a big
Space
fa-
for Simon
Oh,
Pegg.
yeah, well, Simon Pegg, whatever. Well, let's see. On Hatchet 1, we used 55 gallons of blood in making the movie. On Hatchet 2, we used 165. On this one, we still have one more week of shooting to do, and we're already over 220.
Jeez.
So it's
How are
if
you
the
not
MPAA
touching-
didn't like me on the last two, this one is going to be it. I just can't. If I could just be a fly on the wall when they watch this movie. It's really violent. It's really, really violent.
That's a good thing.
Yes, but that's what the fans want. But it's still in the same tone. It's funny violence. I know that's hard for some people to understand, but there's nothing realistic. It's not mean-spirited. It's not depraved. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, a lot of blood. And this movie sort of, if you think of it as sort of a trilogy or as like one movie, this is sort of the action climax. So this one's got a lot more action, tons of stunt work, and
Geysers of blood.
Yeah, geysers of blood.
Geysers
So this is the
guys.
money shot of the
This
trilogy.
is the money shot of the trilogy. So you watch the first two, and then all of a sudden, like, whack, and you're like, oh, yeah.
And then your wife's disappointed, and then, yeah, I get it.
It's
Well,
a s-
his wife's
it's a-
disappointed.
It's
I mean-
a squirt in the eye for cinema. Can you use that quote?
yeah. But I've never disappointed Joe's wife.
What can I say? They have a great working relationship.
Yeah,
apparently.
all cameras on Adam Green. Can you shut down now? Thank you.
Moy, does Edgar Wright have a question, or?
Actually, that's really weird because he does.
Okay.
No, I have a question from Jonathan. Do you, for Joe, do you
Ooh.
like being in a tub naked with Adam?
Oh, I love it. If they should actually have that offered at spas, the green tub,
Just Adam.
because
waiting?
just his sweat is like it's like Twilight blood. It glistens and
Okay, no.
sparkle when you get out.
That's not true because I don't sweat.
That's a lie.
I
dude.
actually don't fart.
the-
True story.
Are
That's
you a girl?
actually no, that's true. He
It's
queefs.
true.
He queefs.
No,
It's
I
more
am
of
a- I am
it's
a
more
girl.
of a
in
he doesn't
in
poop.
over a decade of being friends, how many times have you heard me fart?
once.
Thank
How many
you.
times have you
Special
heard me
moment?
fart?
Can we paint a picture? What was the moment?
Every minute.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
just farted right
I'm
now.
farting right now. The guy in the mic is just like, oh god, the farts.
Yeah.
I love how when Joe worked here, he'd be like, anytime we talked about any of this stuff, he'd be like, guys, you really got to dial that stuff back. But the minute he's not an employee anymore, he's like, we should talk about queefing and shooting in my wife's eye. And
I'm just trying to fill a demographic. I'm getting stuff from the executives going, more cum,
Don't
more
do that.
farts.
Yeah,
don't do
so-
that. Stretch it out a little
Yeah,
more.
stretch out the farts.
Yeah,
That's what we're getting. We're getting stretch out the farts.
G4's got a lot of fans in prisons across the country. So,
Mental
Military
institutions.
prisons, which makes it
Do
even
they- do
better.
they-
that's
do they
90%
screen
of
in
my fan
prisons?
base.
Yeah.
Do they stream in prisons?
Do they stream
Only in the
prison?
showers.
No,
Oh!
but Hatchet 3, there's a scene that takes place in a prison, and I was horrified to find out that the only movie they had there for the prisoners was 8 Below. You know, the one with Paul Walker and all
And
those
that's
people?
why there's riots.
Yes. And I was like, I can leave you guys some of my stuff. And they're like, really? And I showed them my stuff. They're like, no, you can't
No,
get this.
that's cool.
Because you would cause riots. Right?
I guess
Yeah.
that would cause riots, yes.
We'll
Because
take
they were-
Snow Dogs with Cuba Gooding Jr. Like, let's dial it back a little bit. Let's go the opposite direction. Moy, what else do we have from the fans?
From Lance, what was it like working with the cats of Knights of Badassdom? If you want to.
I mean,
that
it was
movie?
amazing. It was, between Peter Dinklage and Steve Zahn and Ryan Quanten, Summer Glau, Danny Pudi, Jimmy Simpson. It's kind of like I had a little mini Comic-Con on my set every day. What stunk was that we had to, because we were shooting in the middle of Comic-Con, this was 2 years ago, I lost half my cast for a weekend. It was just all of a sudden Pudi just goes, "Pow!" Like bam, and he's at Comic-Con, Then he came back, and everything was fine. It was great. I mean, everybody there was awesome. The fact that they came last year for Comic-Con, because a lot of those guys are, they have other shows.
Yeah.
But the fact that they came out and supported us for the movie, that was awesome.
That was an awesome panel.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No, like standing ovation, I think.
It was the
after-
best
yeah,
panel of that year by far. You won Comic-Con.
you did. You were the king of Comic Con.
And look where I am now. Top of the world, Ma.
No, you're good, man. We still have 3 more minutes to talk about you. Don't worry about it. So
Oh,
enjoy
what was
this.
that, Mike? You need a camera angle switch? I'll get right on that. Thanks.
Let's talk about the Comic-Con experience. Adam, you and I were talking earlier about the fact that you're bringing a lot of this kind of horror stuff to Comic-Con, and 10 years ago that'd be a very weird fit for here. But now, in a lot of ways, Comic-Con is better for what you guys are doing than an actual horror convention because it's so well organized and because the fans are so passionate and concentrated. So talk a little bit about the Comic-Con experience from like a horror director standpoint.
Well, I mean, Comic-Con's really become more of like pop culture con
Uh-huh.
for the most part. There was a time, 15 years ago or whatever, when it was really just about comics.
Sure.
But now it's everything. And there's some people that would complain about it and say, oh, Hollywood's moved in and they've taken over, and like, why do we have a panel for CSI New York at Comic-Con? But you'll never take this away from the fans. I mean, you look out and you see all these the costumes and the people that travel from all over the world. They make friends online and they come here to meet. It's like the mecca of, and they'll ignore that stuff. If it's not for them, they don't care. But the stuff that they're into, they're so excited to be there for. And I mean, horror, sci-fi, all of it, it all goes together. So the fact that Comic-Con has been willing to welcome horror into it, because it wasn't always like that. I can tell you tomorrow, walking around the floor is going to be an actual Victor Crowley that's made from the real prosthetics that we used on set.
Nice.
So I don't know how long it's going to last before they make him go, but they've got like guards around him and chains on him, and they're going to try to walk him through so people can get pictures with him, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But they've always been great to me and to Joe with horror stuff he's done. You just gotta be careful what you're showing and remember that it's a
More family
oh my
oriented.
God, Trisha Helfer's here. I directed Trisha in Spiral, and she's like my favorite person.
We're gonna get her on in a couple minutes.
Yes. Sorry, I can't. I got starstruck again.
Wish I wasn't wearing shorts right now. This is uncomfortable for me. And Joe, for you, I mean, you've not only covered Comic-Con for us, but now you're on the other side of things. Is it different with people treating you a lot nicer?
No, actually, what I have been getting is like I was shooting with the guys 2 days ago, and some guy literally came up to my shot, and went snap, like while I was shooting, goes, "Thank you." I'm like, great, I'm glad you got that shot. Now, I mean, I've been coming to Comic-Con on both sides, like whether it's being a fan or coming as media or doing like a panel and being
Right.
talent. It's I'll do one quote. Only half a quote gets that one. But everyone is here because they're fans too. Like so many people, whether you're media, like this is our Christmas. This is our time of year that we get to see stuff that we want to see or cover stuff that we want to cover. Like I love going out and being able to go to the floor and see cosplay players or see, like, I don't know, Trisha Helfer or something just kind of strolls on by
No,
or
she's
something.
really
No, I directed
inaccessible,
Trish in a
actually.
movie
I doubt
called
we'll ever see
Spiral.
her at Comic-Con.
Actually, I believe you co-directed.
No, I directed that scene, and
Oh,
she
the
actually
scene.
went on record saying I was the best director she's ever worked with. Which
But it was
always
just a scene.
That's really interesting.
Oh, that's funny
It
because
was more than just a scene. 'Cause she
I
sort of
remember
sold the
her
movie.
talking that she thought she was on the set of Battlestar and just kind of woke
That
up
was
and
a
went,
different-
where
no,
am I?
that
And then
was a-
she left.
that
I
was a
really hope
different-
at some point in my career I get to actually have a conversation with her because I want to know what the truth is.
I hope that
about this
in
movie.
some
I'm
point in
not
my career
believing
somebody
what
actually sees Spiral because it was actually
a really good
and-
movie. Guys, I wish I had tons more time with you, but because I don't, just quickly at home, I know you're working on a ton of stuff, but the fans, what should they be looking forward to the most from you guys?
Season 2 of Holliston is what they should be looking forward
Uh-huh.
to the most. It's going to be amazing. If you like the first season, the season goes to a whole nother level. We're in post on Hatchet 3, which will be out early next year. Again, full disclosure, I did not direct the third Hatchet movie. I only did the first two, but I did write it. I produced it. It's still my movie.
You ordered all the blood.
He's the Lucas.
Yes, and but it is.
Maybe
Gonna,
not the best
I
color.
do think
Yeah.
it could possibly be the best out of the three.
Uh-huh.
Then I have a project with Chris Columbus at MGM called Killer Pizza, which is sort of a big summer kids movie, kids fighting monsters. And then a project with urban artist Alex Pardee, who's my favorite artist. There
Nice.
is called Digging Up the Marrow, about monster art. And when I'm done with all that, I am going to die.
And we can look forward to Joe's camera work on camera 3 in about 2 minutes.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Well, thank you guys again
That's all you have
for
going
being
on.
here. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Always
having
awesome
us.
talking to you. Joe.
Thank you very much. I'm going to
ahead
be
and- yeah,
over
just
there.
hop over
so
there.
I'm just going to go jump over there now.
And guys, make sure you stick around. Is there any camera looking at me right now? Is that my camera right there? Guys, make sure you stick around. Send your questions at G4TV, #FeedbackLive. Trisha Helfer is going to be here. We are going to ask her about this. She wasn't off camera this whole time. We were saying that as if she wasn't here at all.
We were being all like gross and lewd, and then like Trisha walked over and
Yeah,
everyone was
it
like,
got way, way better. The posture's improved. Yeah. So we're going to have her in just a couple minutes. Be right back.